This bout is presented the Problem Child, Jay Paul.
Fight hard, fight clean, touch him up.
All right, gentlemen, I gave you the rules in there.
That was a shot. That was a shot. Let's go. Use that adrenaline.
There's the left hand.
Juke here.
Close fights. Both fights, actually.
There we see that. Only one big shot.
Hosted by Mario Lopez and what an eclectic team.
Made him miss.
That's what I'm talking about.
Trying to make him pay. Look at the way he cut the angle on that. Really impressive, Mike Smith.
Oh, right hand to the body. Another.
Give me Muhammad Ali right here. Last minute kick. You hear me? And decision right here.
Way to use that jab. Keep Tyson at distance.
The end of the round, but not enough. Big miss there with the left hand. Still was pace to it. His age.
Yeah.
He's been pretty.
There's a double left hook by Tyson. Right uppercut is done. 2-minute rounds.
Oh, with his head movement, missed shots and make him pay. Classic.
He can go out there and feel comfortable and do what he just did.
Mike wants some more.
Capitalized and got the KO.
The God of Wars have summoned him. Getting Mike frustrated and Mike able to still break loose with his head movement, missed shots and make him pay. Classic.
Okay, I'll come in the room after.
Private gloves.
I called him. That's what we made for Roy too.
We were looking for you. We were looking for you. We working your glove.
Yeah.
The whole training camp. I called you 3 times yesterday, man.
They say,
Ross.
he's a good.
The juxtaposition of the two losses.
He can go out there and feel comfortable and do what he just did.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great night of sports and entertainment, courtesy of GES Boxing.
Let's get the official decision now as Jake Paul gets his 8th professional win.
Won, and he came out and he did it.
Sugar Ray Leonard, and a little help from Mr. Snoop Dogg, plus IBF, International Boxing Hall of Famer Jim Gray.
You took it. I knew I hit you with a good shot. You took it. You took it.
I'm a game with
Respect. Hey, I respect that.
Mr. Tyson, what do you think of that?
I'm good with that.
You think you won the fight?
Yeah, but I'm good with a draw.
Why?
Because I entertained the crowd. The crowd was.
This was the ultimate clash of two worlds, like mixing oil and water, but somehow making it explosive. The internet went nuts. When the fight night finally came and people tuned in, not just to see if Jake could survive, but to witness the clash of these two completely different worlds. Tyson walks out in his iconic black trunks, bringing that old-school, nightmare-inducing energy, while Jake, in his typical flashy gear, looked more like he was ready for a Coachella set than a boxing match. But give the kid credit, he didn't flinch. No nerves, no hesitation. This was a guy who had built his brand on swagger, and tonight he wasn't backing down. Tyson came out like a bull, charging with his trademark aggression, swinging those body shots and uppercuts that had ended careers. But Jake? Nah, the kid had done his homework. He was slipping punches, using his footwork, keeping Tyson at bay with jabs. It wasn't just survival, it was strategic, calculated. And the wildest part, Jake wasn't just dodging, he was landing shots. Little counters here and there, quick combos that had people doing double takes. At some point, the world had to accept it. Jake Paul wasn't just surviving there, he was actually competing against Mike Tyson, the man whose knockouts are the stuff of legend. And yet, Jake was in the fight, giving as good as he got. Tyson, of course, had his moments, but Jake somehow kept his cool, kept his game plan, and suddenly the narrative changed. This wasn't just a social media stunt anymore. Jake Paul had arrived. So here we are, right smack in the middle of the fight, and something absolutely wild starts happening. Jake Paul is actually taking control. Up until now, everyone was pretty much expecting Tyson to slowly turn Jake into a human punching bag with that non-stop pressure he's famous for. But nope. Jake's youth and all that crazy cardio training started to shine through, And suddenly, this wasn't just about Jake surviving the onslaught anymore. Oh no, he's out here landing shots. Like legit punches that were actually snapping Tyson's head back. By the time we're rolling into those middle rounds, somewhere around the 5th and 6th, you could feel the whole vibe of the fight shifting. Tyson, even though he's still packing heat in those gloves, wasn't moving like he did earlier. The man who had turned knocking people out into an art form was now starting to look a little slower, a little less sharp. His punches weren't coming as often, and Jake was out here dodging and countering like he's been doing this his whole life. And Jake wasn't just throwing random punches hoping for a miracle. Nah, his strategy was like watching a chess game where one player suddenly gets way too good, way too fast. His team had clearly spent hours dissecting Tyson's weaknesses. Specifically, they were going after the body. Now, everyone knows Tyson's an absolute beast, even at his age. But Jake's body shots? Those things started to add up. You could see it. Tyson's tank was draining faster than expected. By round 6, the dude who had once been an indestructible force of nature was clearly slowing down. And Jake? He was all over it, sticking to that game plan like it was his lifeline. The older Tyson got, the more Jake capitalized on every tiny opening. It was the kind of strategy that made everyone realize this wasn't just some random YouTuber throwing lucky punches. Jake was out here executing a game plan like a pro. Then, just when it seemed like Jake had the fight locked up, Tyson decides to remind everyone why he's the legend. Round 7 hits, and out of nowhere, Tyson pulls off one of those classic, vintage uppercuts that makes the entire arena gasp. It's the kind of punch that turns your brain into mush for a second. You could see it, the punch landed clean, and Jake Paul's legs did that little wobble. For a split second, it looked like the Jake Paul hype train might derail right then and there. But Jake didn't crumble. Nope. The guy took that punch, staggered a bit, and instead of falling apart, he did something that shocked everyone. He recovered. Like, what? This is Mike Tyson we're talking about, not some amateur fighter. Jake backed off, created some space, and got his head back in the game. And that was it. That moment where everyone realized Jake Paul was not just some fluke. He had just survived one of the nastiest punches Tyson could throw at him, and still managed to keep his cool. So, it's the 10th round, and this fight has already given us more surprises than we had expected. But just when you thought you'd seen it all, Jake Paul goes and does something that leaves every single person in the arena, and probably the entire planet, in pure, speechless shock. We're talking about the guy who used to be better known for filming pranks and starting drama on YouTube, now standing toe-to-toe with one of the greatest boxers of all time. And here he is, about to deliver a moment no one could have predicted. Like, not in a million years, Jake Paul was about to knock out Mike Tyson. It starts with this absolutely picture-perfect right hand. Jake had been playing it smart all fight, biding his time, waiting for that golden moment like a predator stalking its prey. And in the 10th round, boom, there it was. The second Tyson's guard dropped just a bit. Jake unleashed a right hand that landed with the kind of force you wouldn't expect from a YouTube boxer. Tyson's head snaps back, his legs buckle, and suddenly the entire arena goes quiet. As Tyson stumbled back, the crowd started to buzz. Some thought Tyson would shake it off. After all, this is the guy who used to eat punches for breakfast. Surely he'd rally back, throw a massive counter, and put Jake in his place, right? Nope. Instead, Jake Paul, smelling blood like a shark in the water, goes full throttle. And this wasn't just some casual follow-up. Oh no, Jake saw his chance and went after it like a man on a mission. Tyson, the knockout king, was now the one trying to survive. Jake unleashed a flurry of punches with the kind of ferocity that people usually associate with Tyson himself. Punch after punch, Jake was relentless. And then, the unthinkable started to feel inevitable. Jake Paul, the underdog who everyone had written off as a joke, was about to knock out Mike Tyson. Tyson was fading, his legendary stamina finally showing its age. By the time the final bell rang, there was no question about the outcome. Jake Paul had done it. He had taken on one of the greatest boxers in history, survived Tyson's best shots, and delivered the knockout punch that sealed the deal. Did you expect that? Because honestly, I didn't see it coming at all. But hey, congrats to Jake Paul for pulling off the unthinkable. Still, no matter what, we'll always love Mike Tyson, the legend himself. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.